It's 9 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. I see Rich is not here. Everyone else is for the roll call. Just for the audience members, welcome. We have our agenda up on the back bookshelf. If you haven't had a chance to get one, please go ahead and grab one so you can follow along if you'd like. First item on the agenda is approval of the November 26 minutes. Did everyone get a chance to read those? Are there any corrections? And if not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 2, approval of today's agenda. If there's no corrections to that, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move approval. I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. PJ, consent agenda for us, please.
Yep. Good morning, Planning Commission. PJ Conover, Director, Planning Department. Consent agenda. The following items have been placed on the consent agenda for actions to be taken on all items in accordance with staff's recommendation by a single vote. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda by any planning commissioner, staff member, or audience member for separate consideration. The findings of the Planning Commission are recommendations to the Pennington County Board of Commissioners, who will make the final decision. Item 3, conditional use permit review 1641 for Robert and Glenda Frank to review a recreational vehicle to be used as temporary living quarters while building a single-family residence on the subject property in a low-density residential district. Staff recommends approval of the extension of conditional use permit 1641 with 13 conditions. Conditional use permit review 1741 for Poomjeet Aaron to allow an existing structure, a restaurant, to be used as a single-family residence on the subject property in a general commercial district. Staff recommends approval of the extension of conditional use permit 1741 with 8 conditions. Item 5, conditional use permit review 1742 for Kyle and Christina Volmer to live in a recreational vehicle while building a single-family residence on the subject property in a general agriculture district. Staff recommends approval of the extension of conditional use permit 1742 with 14 conditions. Item 6, conditional use permit 1838 for Daniel Johnson, Highmark Properties LLC, to allow the multifamily dwelling with separate units, Unit 1 and Unit 2, to be used as a specialty resort / vacation home rental in a general agriculture district. Staff recommends to continue conditional use permit 1838 to no later than the March 25th, 2019 Planning Commission meeting with one condition. Item 7, construction permit review 1714 for Cody Shad to review the construction of a road constructed outside of the section line right-of-way and to satisfy a condition of approval from CS 1602. Staff recommends approval of the extension of construction permit 1714 with 6 conditions. Item 8, construction permit 1812 for Brad Nibel to excavate and level a hillside for future residents in accordance with section 208 and 507 of the Pennington County zoning ordinance. Staff recommends approval of the extension of construction permit 1812 with 11 conditions. Item 9, layout plat 1738 for Dorothy Johnson Estates, Great Western Bank personal representative for Dorothy Johnson Estates to create lots A, B, C, and D of Johnson Estates subdivision. Staff recommends to continue layout plat 1738 to the January 14th, 2019 Planning Commission meeting with one condition. Item 10, rezone 1710 and comprehensive plan amendment 1709 for Dorothy Johnson Estates, Great Western Bank, the personal representative for Dorothy Johnson Estates, to rezone 21.39 acres from limited agriculture district to suburban residential district, and to amend the Pennington County Comprehensive Plan to change the future land use from PUD sensitive to suburban residential district. Staff recommends to continue rezone 1710 and comprehensive plan amendment 1709 to the January 14th, 2019 Planning Commission meeting with one condition. Item 11, minor plat 1841 for Larry and Lenora Rulin to create tract 1 of Rulin Ranch Edition. Staff recommends approval of minor plat 1841 with 8 conditions. Item 12, minor plat 1842 and subdivision regulation variance 1811 for Gerald and Judith Schmidt to combine 2 lots in order to create lot 1 of Schmidt subdivision and a portion of dedicated right-of-way of Norris Peak Road, and to waive platting requirements. Staff recommends approval of subdivision regulation variance 1811 and approval of minor plat 1842 with 7 conditions. Item 13, minor plat 1827 and subdivision regulation variance 1808 for Paul and Carol Neiman to combine 2 lots in order to create Neiman Trust tract or land tract and to waive platting requirements. Staff recommends to continue subdivision regulation variance 1808 and minor plat 1827 to December 17th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting. Last item, item 14, rezone 1807 and comprehensive plan amendment 1807 for Paul and Carol Neiman to rezone 17.4 acres from general agriculture district to limited agriculture district and to amend the Pennington County Comprehensive Plan to change the future land use from plan unit development sensitive to limited agriculture district. Staff recommends to continue rezone 1807 and comprehensive plan amendment 1807 to December 17th, 2018 Planning Commission meeting.
Any items that staff would like to have removed?
12, please.
12. Any others? Any members?
Number 3.
Number 3. Any other items removed off the consent agenda from our membership? Seeing none, any members of the audience, items number 3 through 14, if you'd like to have them considered separately and removed off the consent vote, please come forward and let us know. I don't see any, so that leaves our consent agenda to be items number 4 through 11, 13, and 14. And if that is correct, I'd entertain a motion to approve those items.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Take us to item number 3. Who had?
What are you looking at, Sonny?
So I had a question about condition 5, which states that the mound system will need to be expanded. Though in the analysis, we have that the DENR approved mound system, the current mound system is for a 3-bedroom house. So that, I just didn't understand that.
You see what it says? Number 5. Say it again. I don't think she heard it all.
Okay, so in the analysis section, item C, we have that the DENR has approved the mound system for a 3-bedroom house and garage with 1 bedroom. But in the conditions, number 5, should the applicant wish to build a single-family residence, the mound system will need to be expanded.
Currently, they're living, I'm Christina Proetti, sorry, Planner 1. Hi. Currently, they're proposing to live in their garage while they build their house. So I believe what they have right now is set up for their garage and the living quarters in their garage. And once they propose to build their single-family residence, they're going to have to expand their system.
So is their intention to build their single-family residence to require more than the 3 bedrooms that the DENR has approved for the mound system?
They haven't turned in plans for their residence yet.
Okay. Just a point of clarification, so,
I'm not sure how many bedrooms they're going to propose yet.
okay. Okay, well,
We always put in there that they have the option to expand it, though. They can ask for it. Doesn't mean they're going to get it from the state.
okay.
Any further questions? All right, current recommendation is to approve the extension of conditional use permit 1641 with the following 13 conditions. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 12. This is the one.
Cassie Bolstead, Assistant Planning Director. I just noticed something when PJ was reading the agenda on this item. The agenda says to combine them in order to create Lot 1 of Schmidt subdivision. When they did their layout plat, they actually figured out that calling this a subdivision would cause them to lose their ag status. So I just wanted to do a point of clarification that they are now calling this Schmidt tract. So I just wanted that to be clarified. It's right in the staff report. It says to combine 2 lots in order to create Schmidt tract and a
Right.
portion of dedicated right of way, but on the agenda it says something different, so I just wanted to clarify.
I got you. All right. Anyone have any questions on that? If not, current recommendation is for subdivision, is for approval of SV 1811 with the following waivers. Wait, we have to do both of those then, since they were pulled in, right? Item 12, right? Because there's two recommendations.
Yeah, usually for consistency, we usually do
Right.
plat and subregs separate.
Yep, we'll go ahead and do that. So there's two recommendations on this one. The first one is, staff recommends approval of SV 1811 for the following waivers. I'd entertain a motion for that one.
So move.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, no. Motion carries. And then the recommendation for minor plat 1842, recommendation for approval of that plat 1842 with the following 7 conditions. I'd entertain a motion for that.
I'll move to accept it.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. That takes us to item number 15.
Okay, again, my name's Christina Proetti, Planner 1. Item 15 is a layout plat PL 1840 to subdivide and create Lot 1 revised of Tract B and Lot A revised of Lot 1 of Tract B of HES number 281. The lot is currently dual zoned as suburban residential district and low-density residential district with a total of 5.18 acres. There are currently no structures on the property, and there are no special flood hazard area on the property either. The applicant is proposing to create Lot A with approximately 2.56 acres, keeping it zoned as suburban residential district, and Lot B with approximately 2.67 acres, keeping it zoned as low-density residential district. Both lots are able to gain access from Greyhound Gulch Road. And there are no other concerns for this property, and staff is recommending approval with 10 conditions.
Any questions for staff? All right, seeing none. Any members of the audience like to speak on behalf of this item? Seeing none, current recommendation is approval of layout plat PL 1840 with the following 10 conditions. Is there a motion?
Also move.
Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 16.
All right, Cassie Bolstead, Assistant Planning Director. Item 16 is layout plat 1839 and a subdivision regulations variance 1810. This is to combine 3 lots to create Lot 1 revised of Block 1 of Forest Homes Development and to waive plating requirements. The applicant is Seven Wonders, or Jessica Hessler, and the surveyor and the agent is Fisk Land Surveying. So as this property exists today, it is 3 separate properties. Lot 1, Block 1 of Forest Homes Development is currently zoned low-density residential, and that is the lot that contains all of the existing structures. Currently has a single-family residence, a detached garage, and an on-site wastewater treatment system. Lot 2 of Block 1 of Forest Homes Development is also zone low density that's currently vacant. And then there is a small tract at the bottom, tract 0046, that's zoned general agriculture district and is 0.23 acres and also vacant. What they are wanting to do with this lot is combine all 3 of those together. It would be dual zoned, therefore a lot size variance or a rezone will be required, and it would be 1.02 acres. It would contain all of the existing structures and accesses off of Forest Road. There is some special flood hazard area on this property on that back side. Floodway is included in that, but there is a pretty significant drop off down to the creek. There was a variance approved for this property in 1998 to reduce the minimum required side yard setback on Lot 1, Block 1 to 10 feet in order to replace the previous detached garage. It did not reduce any of the other setbacks, including the front yard setback. However, when it was built, it looks like it was built not in the spot that was proposed, because a site survey of the property from Fisk indicates that the garage is 17.1 feet from the front property line. So they have submitted a setback variance to bring that structure into compliance, which will be heard by the Board of Adjustment tomorrow. The plat and subdivision regulations was routed through the interdepartmental review process, and nothing of significant concern came back, just a minor correction on the plat heading from the Register of Deeds. They are requesting subdivision regulations, variances to 3 of our subdivision regulations. The requirement for submittal of percolation tests and soil profile hole information, since there's already an existing septic system on there. Road improvements to Forest Road and West Highway 44. This layout plat decreases density, so staff does not see a need for road improvements. And any improvements to the undeveloped section line right-of-way. And again, this plat decreases density. That section line does not appear that it would need to be improved, so that's not necessary at this time. There is a portion of the existing residence that does encroach into the section line right-of-way. You can kind of see it right here. The section line right of way is right here, and as you can see, the house comes out like that. So they actually will be required to vacate that portion of the section line right of way to bring that structure into compliance prior to filing this plat with the Register of Deeds. Grandfathering in section line right of ways is not possible. So even though the house is a grandfathered structure, it still can't be grandfathered to encroach into the section line right of way. So for the purposes of a layout plat, staff does not find any significant issues. So here again, 2 different recommendations. Staff is recommending approval of subdivision regulations variance 1810 to waive the 3 requested platting requirements.
Any questions for staff? See none. Any members of the audience want to speak on behalf of this item? I see none. Recommendation to approve subdivision regulation variance 1810 to waive the following platting requirements. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries.
And then our recommendation for layout plat 1839 is approval with 13 conditions.
All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve layout plat 1839 with the following 13 conditions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Item number 17.
Item number 17 goes along with that plat. This is their rezone and comprehensive plan amendment request, rezone 1808 and comp plan amendment 1807. What they are requesting to do is rezone that proposed 1.02 acres from low-density residential to general agriculture district. From low-density residential and general agriculture district to suburban residential so that it doesn't have dual zoning anymore. Currently, within a half a mile of that property, there is general agriculture district, low-density residential district, and suburban residential. And future land use zoning within a half mile, there's low-density residential, suburban residential, and PUD sensitive. Since the properties do have 2 different zoning designations, this rezone request will bring it into compliance with the Pennington County zoning ordinance and make it all one zoning district. And then also amend the comprehensive plan. The nearest suburban residential zoning district abuts the subject property to the southeast, and the nearest suburban residential future land use also abuts the property to the southeast. So it does appear that the applicant's request is in harmony with the surrounding zoning. So staff is recommending approval of rezone 1808 and comprehensive plan amendment 1807.
Any questions for staff? Any members of the audience want to speak on this item? Seeing none, current recommendation is approval of rezone 1808 and comprehensive plan 1807.
Also move.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 18.
Oh, we're going quick here.
We are.
I don't know if the food's going to be warm upstairs, so I'll have to read slow. The Board of Commissioners, okay, sorry. Item 18, County Board Report. The Board of Commissioners concurred with the Planning Commission's recommendations from the November 26, 2018 Planning Commission meeting.
All right. Any questions for PJ on those? All right. Item number 19. Items from the public. Anyone from the public like to speak or have any issues for us? All right. If not, item number 20.
Number 20, A through E, added one today. First item is the building permit report for November 2018. Overall, we're down 13% for building permits in valuation. Year-to-date, we've taken in 748 building permits so far this year, as opposed to 666 over this time last year. Single-family residence building permits appear to be down a little over, just under 20%. Mobile homes are up about 15%. Kind of a slow month, but that's, building permits slow down this time of year, plats and rezones pick up.
All right, any questions? All right, B. December.
B, just a reminder again for the next planning commission meeting for this month. It starts at 2 o'clock, not at 9 a.m. It's the only one of the year that does that. That's scheduled, normal.
I'm just making sure I put that on my calendar for 2 o'clock. That's right, I did. All right. All right, item C.
Item C, just an update on our Planner 2 and our ordinance officer interviews. And thank you for Commissioner Johnson for participating in the first round of interviews for the Planner 2. And I know, Travis, you're doing it this week, I believe, with Holly and Cassie.
Do we have a time, date, or, I mean, I know we have a date, but I haven't seen anything about a time.
I'm sure she'll get it to you if it hasn't been sent out, but.
Okay.
Yep. So the second round of Planner 2 interviews will be this Friday. I believe it's in the morning. There's 3 candidates that have all chosen to come back, and they have presentations that they'll have to do inside in this room Friday morning. Our ordinance officer interviews will be on the 10th, and Cassie and I will be taking care of the first round of those, and then we'll see what we need to do after that. That was an internal hire mostly, but there was a glitch when HR put it out, and some external candidates were able to apply. But we had a pretty good turnout, and I think we have some good candidates to replace Mr. King.
All right, any questions? All right, next item.
Item D, again, just another reminder for the comprehensive plan. The first official hearing of that will be the Planning Commission meeting on January 28th. I believe that's going to be a long meeting.
Thank you so very much.
Hey, I'm telling you a month in advance.
And that's after our long meeting a couple weeks before that.
That's right.
Well, you give us long meetings in January.
That's right. Starting the year off.
Start the year off hard.
Then one more item that's not on there. Towards the end of every year, we kind of ask the Planning Commission to give us a little bit of feedback on the staff reports. Not this meeting, it would be the next meeting. The current format that you see in staff reports has been kind of growing over the last 4 years since one of the Board of Commissioners, who no longer is on the board, has asked us to kind of put it more in bullet point form than in paragraph form. So after a year of sitting and reading them, we just always like some feedback on what you like, what you don't like, what we could do better. So we'll put that on at the next meeting. So just giving you a 2-week heads up. Okay. Nothing further.
Any questions for staff? All right, seeing none. Item number 21, items from the membership. Anybody have anything?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
All right, go ahead.
Perhaps most of you or all of you know, but my replacement, if starting in January, is sitting in the audience, Gary Drews, and he'll do a wonderful job.
And your last meeting is?
Well, depending, I guess my last commission meeting will be the 18th. I'm on the planning commission on the 17th. So.
Right, so your last one with us is the 17th.
Yep.
All right. Anything else from anyone from the membership? Seeing none, the last item is adjournment. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. We are adjourned.